on the front lines, meantime, in Libya's civil war. Fighting raging there, too. Behind the scenes, the rebels, little house cleaning on the Transitional National Council. The 14-member executive board was dismissed in response to the recent killing of the rebels' top military commander. All right, then to the west, in Tripoli. Another nighttime strike by NATO planes. The Gaddafi government claims that 85 civilians, including women and children, were killed by NATO bombs near Zlitan. NATO confirms it did carry out a bombing raid. It has no information on those casualties. Michael Holmes is in the mountains in Zintan to fill in the details for us. Michael.
Yeah, Jim, that's right. We are in Zintan now. We spoke with rebel commanders a short time ago. They told us that they have advanced even further forward from where they were after they took that town of Bir al-Ghanem. Now, they've moved. That battle was fought on a couple of fronts. One at the town itself, of course, which was some fierce fighting for about 5 hours. And there was a second front where we were, which was near a military encampment where Gaddafi forces were holed up. That too was a fierce battle. Now, what we're told is that the rebels have since moved forward from that position across open ground 15 kilometres further forward. They're now 25 kilometres or so from the coast. We spoke with rebels the day after that very fierce battle. Here's a look at how they were relaxing.
Salama Zintani, an X-ray technician by trade, shoots pool in the backyard of a house in Zintan, western Libya. Yesterday, just a few miles away, he was directing a different kind of shooting. Salama Zintani is a rebel battlefield commander who helped his side take the pivotal town of Bir al-Ghanem from Gaddafi forces on Saturday, putting the rebels closer to Tripoli than they'd been before. It was a fight that went on for hours and cost lives on both sides. The day after, Salama and his unit relax and tinker with the spoils of war, vehicles and heavy weapons they took when Gaddafi forces fled Bir al-Ghanem.
Now, during the battle yesterday, the rebels took prisoners, Gaddafi soldiers. We've got their ID cards right here. But the thing that's interesting is several of those prisoners, like this guy here, have been caught before. The rebels don't have the facilities to keep prisoners for long, so those who promise not to rejoin the fight are often released to go back home. Some of them, like this fella, were apparently lying.
Rebels say they caught a number of soldiers they say are African mercenaries paid by Gaddafi to fight. Saturday, CNN saw 3 of these men taken from the battlefield. 2 were wounded but said they were from Chad. The 3rd was dead, though his fellow fighter said that man too was from Chad.
I'm not 100%.
Rebel fighter Mohammed shows me something else he found on the battlefield, what he says are pages of African witchcraft or black magic designed to protect fighters from enemy bullets. Saturday, he says he got chills when it appeared to work on an armed Gaddafi soldier casually walking in the open. Mohammed says he and 10 fellow fighters opened fire on the man from 200 meters.
We tried to shoot him with different guns. Kalashnikov, FN, 14.5-inch gun. But no one can hit him. And
he's out in the open. So you're putting all kinds of weapons at him, including anti-aircraft guns,
yeah.
And you're not hitting him.
We didn't hit him, and he reached the car. He'll go in the car and go away.
An obviously unnerved Mohammed says he found these writings in another car next to the one the man escaped in. In a rebel command centre nearby, local leaders discuss their next move. They're keen to get ever closer to Tripoli, but say they need to curb their impatience and bide their time.
We are ready for the next move. We have always been ready. Expect some surprises from Zintan very soon.
Back at Salama Zintani's unit headquarters, they say they're preparing to execute those orders.
Yeah, they say that they're reinforcing Bir al-Ghanem and other forward positions and say they expect to move in the days ahead.
News just coming into us from a courtroom in Texas where fundamentalist Latter-day Saints religious leader Warren Jeffs was just sentenced to life in prison in his sexual assault trial. The first count of that was aggravated sexual assault of a child under the age of 14. He got 20 years for that. Sexual assault of a child under the age of 17 20 years for that. The jury had deliberated for 30 minutes. The Warren Jeff sentencing came very suddenly. He had been convicted. Now he will face life in prison for aggravated sexual assault, and then those 20-year prison terms for sexual assault on a child. So Warren Jeffs being sentenced to a strong prison time, life in prison. He also gets a $10,000 fine. This was the maximum for each count. Judge Walther ruled that they could be served consecutively, but that is a life sentence. We're going to take a short break. We're back after this.
Eco Solutions, in association with Suzlon. Suzlon, powering a greener tomorrow.
This is Japan's energy crisis today. The crippled Fukushima nuclear plant, still spewing radiation, still wreaking havoc on the nation's power usage. And now, more than ever, pushing the country to seek the energy solution of tomorrow, renewing interest in the renewable solar power field.
Does it take a crisis to get people to change?
I think a crisis, unfortunately, always helps to get people to change.
Solar Frontier's Miyazaki factory is now Japan's largest solar panel manufacturing plant. And this isn't the only place upping the production line. In this bare field, one of Japan's largest technology companies, SoftBank, is leading a private venture assisted by local governments to build solar farms, which aims to replace 50 nuclear plants by 2020.